And we're back with another first verse with Steve and Marissa. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be starting in Numbers 4. Are you in a position to start?
I can't.
I got to flip there.
Apparently, I've gotten to the chapter faster.
You got there faster than the pastor. Yes, you did.
This is titled The Kohathites. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Take a census of the Kohathite branch of the Levites by their clans and families. Count all the men from 30 to 50 years of age who come to serve in the work in the tent of meeting. This is the work of the Kohathites in the tent of meeting, the care of the most holy things. When the camp is to move, Aaron and his sons are to go in and take down the shielding curtain and cover the Ark of the Testimony with it. They are to cover this. Sometimes I feel like I need a paper. They are to cover this with hides of sea cows. There's sea cows again.
Dolphins. Porpoises. Sorry, not a dolphin.
Spread a cloth of solid blue over that and put the poles in place. Over the table of the presence, they are to spread a blue cloth and put it on the plates. Dishes and bowls and the jars of drink offerings, the bread that is continually there is to remain on it. Over these, they are to spread a scarlet cloth, cover that with hides of sea cows, and put its poles in place. Verse 9, they are to take a blue cloth and cover the lampstand that is for light, together with its lamps, its wick trimmers and trays, and all its jars for the oil used to supply it. Then they are to wrap it and all its accessories in a covering of hides of sea cows and put it on a carrying frame. Over the gold altar, they are to spread a blue cloth and cover that with hides of sea cows and put its poles in its place. They are to take all the articles used for ministering in the sanctuary, wrap them in a blue cloth, cover that with hides of sea cows, and put them in a carrying frame. They are to remove the ashes from the bronze altar and spread a purple cloth over it. Then they are to place all the utensils used for ministering at the altar, including fire pans, meat forks, shovels, and sprinkling bowls. Over it, they are to spread a covering of hides of sea cows and put its poles in place. After Aaron and his sons have finished covering the holy furnishings and all the holy articles, and when the camp is ready to move, the Kohathites are to come to do the carrying, but they must not touch the holy things or they will die. Why do I feel like that's foreshadowing? The Kohathites are to carry those things that are in the tent of meeting. Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, is to have charge of the oil for the light, the fragrant incense, the regular grain offering, and the anointing oil. He is to be in charge of the entire tabernacle and everything in it, including its holy furnishings and articles. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "See that the Kohathite tribal clans are not cut off from the Levites, so that they may live and not die when they come near the most holy things. Do this for them." Aaron and his sons are to go into the sanctuary and assign to each man his work and what he is to carry, but the Kohathites must not go in to look at the holy things, even for a moment, or they will die.
Okay, so we got a case of don't touch. And the reasoning behind it is you will surely die. Not surely die, you will die.
I only have one note so far. It says the Kohathites, Gershonites, and Merarites were families of Levites who were assigned special tasks in Israel's worship. For the jobs described in this chapter, a Levite had to be between 30 and 50 years old. They were expected to carry out their duties as described here in every detail. In fact, failure to do so would mean death. This contrasted greatly from the religious practices of the Egyptians, who could purchase amulets and potions. Their idols could be touched. The God of the Hebrews was not to be handled or reduced to common elements. He is greater than anything in his creation. Worshipping our holy God must not be taken lightly.
There's some interesting notes here. I just don't know if they're... I mean, we've pretty much gone over them. A lot of it is repeated stuff. Repeated as in just we went through this when we went through Exodus, or the last half of
Mm-hmm.
Exodus, which was the things of the Lord must remain holy, and his people must be holy, and the ceremonies must be holy. And it's not that holy is a special word, it just means separated
I don't
and
know.
consecrated.
Well, I got confused at one point because I didn't realize it was God still talking to Moses. And then later on, Moses was saying the exact same things God had said to him to the people.
Yeah, that's kind of confusing at times here.
Mm-hmm.
The priests alone were to handle, cover up, wrap, and otherwise prepare each thing for travel. Then unpack and set all the pieces back in order for service. So they basically, I mean, it's basically a tent ministry,
Mm-hmm.
or what we would call that. So besides the cloth coverings, all pieces of furniture of the tabernacle were covered with badger skins for travel. This was to protect them and the things on them from the weather. And it seems like, why is this even in the Bible anyway? Because
Mm-hmm.
we why do we get detail here and we don't get detail on the high school years of Jesus Christ, or some other gaps and stuff. This is here because the Lord was giving them instruction.
Mm-hmm.
They had never traveled outside of Egypt at this point. They were never, for generations, they were in slavery, and they lost the technology. They lost the knowledge of what to do when you're on the road. So I'm sure they heard things, and I'm sure they picked up some things, but people didn't have the ability to leave. Pharaoh forbid the Israelite people to go out in the wilderness and worship God. There was no, anyway, so this was God giving instruction to the people on how they can safely transport the tabernacle without it wearing down. And I would gather that there's a lot to be taken here that can be applied to the here and now. Stuff like badger skins and porpoise skins. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we take that for granted, and the hunting community says, I want that on my wall, or I want to make a coat out of that or something. Yeah, that's great, but like it's there for a purpose. Everything has a
Mm-hmm.
purpose. God designed that purpose for a purpose.
Hmm.
Say that 5 times
All
fast.
right, we're in verse 21.
The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Take also the sum of the sons of Gershon throughout the house of their fathers and their families, from 30 years old to, wait, you're in 21, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought you already gone through this before.
No, I did Kohathites. It's going to sound very similar to the Kohathites because it
Okay.
starts the same way.
All right, so the subheading is duties to the Gershonites. Okay, the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Take also the sum of the sons of Gershon throughout the houses of their fathers by their families, from 30 years old and older to 50 years old, you will number them, all that enter into perform the service to do the work of the tent of meeting. This is the service of the families of the Gershonites, to serve and to work. They will carry the curtains of the tabernacle and the tent of meeting, its covering, and the covering of those porpoise skins that is on it, and the hanging of the door of the tent of the meeting, and the hangings of the courtyard, and the hangings of the opening of the gate of the courtyard, which is by the tabernacle and by the altar all around, and their cords, and all the instruments of their service, and all that is made for them, so that they will serve. In the appointment of Aaron and the sons, he will, and his sons will be all the service of the sons of the Gershonites, and all their burdens, and all their service. And you shall assign to them all their tasks as their duty. This is the service of the families of the sons of Gershon in the tent of meeting, and their charge will be under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest. Next section is duties of the Merarites. Merarites. If you know how to say that correctly,
us.
please give me like the dictionary sound out as a comment in the bottom, because that would be great. You know what I'm talking about, right? Where you look up a word on dictionary.com because no one actually has an actual dictionary book in their house anymore. And it says like how to say the word porpoise, and it's like POR dash
Umlaut. No.
umlaut on the P or something. I don't know. Porpoise. Porpoise.
Okay, come
Okay, all right. So verse 29. As for the sons of Merari, you will number them by their families, by the household of their fathers, from 30 years old to 50 years old. You will number them, everyone who enters into the service to do the work of the tent of meeting. This is the charge of their burden, according to their service in the tent of meeting. The boards of the tabernacle and its bars thereof, its pillars, its sockets, and the pillars around its pillars of the court round about, and their sockets, and their pins, and their cords, and with all their instruments, and with all their service, and by name you will list the instruments of the charge of their burden. This is the service of the families of the sons of Merari, according to all their service in the tent of meeting, under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest.
The numbering of the Levite clans, verse 34. Moses, Aaron, and the leaders of the community counted the Kohathites by their clans and families, all the men from 30 to 50 years of age who came to serve in the work of the tent of meeting, counted by the clans, were 2,750. That's a lot of people. This was the total of all those in the Kohathite clans who served in the tent of meeting. Moses and Aaron counted them according to the Lord's command through Moses. The Gershonites were counted by their clans and family, all the men from 30 to 50 years of age who came to serve in the work at the tent of meeting, counted by their clans and families, were 2,630. This was the total of those in the Gershonite clans who served at the tent of meeting. Moses and Aaron counted them according to the Lord's command. The Merarites were counted by their clans and families, all the men from 30 to 50 years of age who came to serve in the work at the tent of meeting, counted by their clans, were 3,200. This was the total of those in the Merari clans. Moses and Aaron counted them according to the Lord's command through Moses. So Moses, Aaron, and the leaders of Israel counted all the Levites by their clans and families, all the men from 30 to 50 years of age who came to do the work of serving and carrying the tent of meeting, numbered 8,580. At the Lord's command through Moses, each was assigned to his work and told what to carry. Thus they were counted as the Lord commanded Moses. Man, I wonder, conceptually, how large the tent of meeting was for it to take 8,000 people serving to help deconstruct and reconstruct it and move it. You know?
Uh-huh. I'm looking up something.
Like how they do the pictures where, they compare people to what the size of a dinosaur would have been.
Uh-huh.
What is people compared to the size of the tent of meeting?
Yeah. How many? I'm trying to find out how many Levites were among the men that could have been fighting age men, and I heard 200,000, but I could be wrong there. Anyway, so they've got a total of 603,000 in their troops. If they were to add the Levites, let's just say it's going off of all these numbers, I'm gonna say it could be. I don't know
if the Levites were that big, though.
Okay, so let's just say, so the median of these, let's just say around 46,000. If that would have been the case, they would have had 650,000. I find it interesting that the Lord did not use the tribe of Levi as that, but said, you are a dedicated priesthood. you're able to fight, but you're not going to fight. That's
Like their whole purpose is the tent of meeting.
yeah, and that is the most
The tabernacle.
important MOS you could possibly have. MOS meaning military occupational service.
I've got one more note on chapter 4. It says the Gershonites could receive directions from any of Aaron's sons, but they were directly responsible to Ithamar only. The lines of authority and accountability were clearly communicated to all the Israelites. You got anything else cool?
Nothing.
All
Nothing
right,
really stands
let's
out.
call it a wrap for chapter 4. And if you'd like to see the map, what the layout was for the Levites and the other Israelites, just check out our post on First Verse.
You got through all this?
Yeah, I just read 34 through 49.
Okay, sorry. I thought you stopped
No.
earlier on. Okay. All right. We love you. See you next time.